Music may seem like a rather odd subject to bring up at the beginning of a book on the very serious and uncomfortable topic of global white privilege and how it maintains Western economic dominance across the world. But music can sometimes be seen as an art form of protest, from folk songs that skewer those in power to how all forms of music are used during times of turmoil to both galvanize people into action and lift spirits when the odds seem insurmountable. Yet Western music in its commercial and popular form, especially during and after the 20th century, was the trigger for my formative thinking about the harm done by unchecked Westernization, the insidious nature of white privilege, cultural erosion, and how the instruments of Western soft power are used to make non-white people subservient. Most know me today as the founder and CEO of the Global Institute for Tomorrow, the Pan-Asian think tank. Some may remember me as the person who built Asia's largest environmental consulting firm and was its former chairman. They perhaps view me as someone focused on sustainability and economic development, or on a wide range of social issues. They may see me as a policy wonk with no other interests. What they may not know is that music shaped my life, as have sports. I play the saxophone and was a member of a band when I lived and worked in Africa. The band played an eclectic mix of black music ranging from roots reggae to South African township music and some jazz. We even once played to a crowd of 30,000 in Swaziland, supporting the legendary reggae superstar Peter Tosh, widely regarded as Bob Marley's right-hand man in his group, the Wailers. Being backstage and watching Tosh and his band belt out classics such as Get Up, Stand Up, and Equal Rights were rainbow moments. But it is what took me to Africa that has a bearing on this audiobook. It goes back to my childhood and the influence that Western culture and pop music had on me. When I was in my late teens, I began asking some hard questions. Why was it that a young child of migrant parents from South India was so easily led astray, to the point where I rejected my parents' culture and was so keen to embrace anything from the West? How was it that, while being brought up in the unique multicultural society of Malaysia, I was not drawn to the rich traditions of Malay or Chinese culture? Was it because that, even at a young age, I was being influenced by the belief that embracing white culture would give me access to white privilege and all its associated economic benefits? After all, everything I was taught, everything I read and watched during my childhood made it clear that white people were superior, from the plantation managers to the missionaries and the people on the movie screen. What is clear in my mind is that pop and rock music had a strong influence on me and all my friends as teenagers living in a country that, at that stage, was hardly developed. The latest music from the West was fed to all of us as an essential pathway to joining the modern world. Rejection was not an option. We were all sucked in by the giant vacuum cleaner of global Westernization, and Western music shaped the lives of millions. It seemed to cement our subservience to Western culture. In my teens, I began to read about and understand the story of Black America and its heroes, such as Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. Through those two American dissidents, I learned the truth about the war in Vietnam and the various liberation struggles around the world, from Latin America to Africa. That paved the way for discovering Black music and a strong rejection of pop and rock. That led to an acute interest in roots reggae and African music, especially forms steeped in socio-political struggles. It was the start of a never-ending interest in music from all corners of the world, starting with the music of my Indian parents and expanding to include the flute music of the Sunda Islands, the desert music of the Tuareg of the Sahara, the sounds of the Middle East, the village songs of China, and choro music from Brazil. It was almost as if, having been force-fed pop and rock music in my early years, I was spending my adult years rebelling and looking for different sounds and melodies from the rich cultures of the world to understand more than what Western influence and education wanted me to know.